I think all the people in bpExperts are super open and very kind. And always when you have issues or questions or you need help with anything, they are always down to help you.
Hello, Kristina. How are you?
Hello, Jette. I'm good. And you?
I'm good as well. Yeah, thank you so much for being here today and telling us a bit more about your life at BP Experts. So, maybe first of all, if you wouldn't mind, could you introduce yourself?
So my name is Kristina, as you already heard before, and I'm working for bpExperts. I think now is more than 5 years. I work as a senior consultant now, but basically I started from scratch when I joined as a working student before. So more or less right now I built my whole experience and career here.
That is nice. So, maybe you could tell us a bit what kind of projects are you working on, or what does your day to day at BP Experts look like?
So usually I work on the projects that look at the process architecture, building the process architecture and process modeling. So that was how I started, and also how I work a lot of internally on this type of task. But I also worked already on some projects regarding business transformation, and specifically it was around change management and how we basically handled the users and their transformation to, in this case, it was to another system.
Okay. And like those projects, are they like completely in German or do you have international clients or what would you say is like the usual clients of BP Experts?
So we have a mix. So we have a lot of projects that are in German. So that's usually with the companies that are smaller.
Hmm.
And if we have clients that are bigger, so they have usually different locations around the globe, that's when the projects are in English, so that we are able to communicate basically with all the customers and their employees.
Okay, that's nice. What do you say? What do you enjoy most about working at BP Experts, about your role?
I think I enjoyed the most that basically always all the projects are different, but also in a sense sometimes similar. So you might already know what is coming, but there is still some aspect to it that will be new for you, that is maybe specific to the customer or specific to the industry they are working in, because there will always be differences between the industries. So more or less, it always has this feeling that you already know what you are doing to some extent, but you still have some challenge.
Yeah, of course. That kind of keeps it exciting, right?
Yeah.
You know what's going to come. Has there been a project in the past that you really liked working on?
I really enjoyed one of our projects that we were working on. This was one about the business transformation.
Mhm.
And it was also because we had a really good team, also internally at bpExperts, but also from the client side. So basically, the whole team, it was very nice working together, and we already knew like what works for each person, and we're able to support each other. And I think that makes a really big difference.
Of course, yeah. So, as we all know, BP Experts is a very international company. So, you are from Slovakia, but you're not currently based in Slovakia, right? So, maybe you could tell me about that.
Yeah, so I'm from Slovakia, and basically, when I joined bpExperts, I was at the time studying in Austria.
Mm-hmm.
Then after I finished the studies, I was a little bit in Slovakia, and then I moved now to Portugal. And
Mm-hmm.
basically throughout this whole time, I was able to work for bpExperts, because also our partners are very open to these kinds of things, and they support us if they are able to with these decisions. So thanks to that, I was able to change basically my countries quite easily.
Yeah, that is really nice. And what is it like working in this international environment? Because I mean, day to day we get to work with people from many different countries and cultures. So has there been any challenges with that, or is it only positive? What would you say about this?
Yeah, I mean, there are always good and bad things, since
Mhm.
a lot of the countries can have quite big differences to what I'm used to and like how people from my country work.
Mhm.
So it's not always easy to maybe work with the other people in maybe some specific countries, but there are always also things that surprise me when the people from the other countries do. So it's like a hit or miss. It's like with all the people, you cannot be friends with everybody. You just like to talk with some of them, and I think this is kind of a similar thing.
Was there like any stereotype that you had about a certain country or culture that turned out to be completely wrong?
I have a bad example, maybe. So not a positive one, but when I worked with the Dutch people, I thought they would be kind of like the Germans in a sense that very structured and like they would get things done. But from my experience, which was quite limited, I didn't have this impression and things were not going very well. So
Okay.
I kind of had a negative experience in this sense.
That's funny. Yeah, you never know, right? People are
Yeah.
always different and so on. And I think another important part of our work culture is that we work remotely, right? We all work from home. Of course, sometimes we organize some co-workings, but how has it been? I mean, it's been 5 years, as you said. How has it been like working from home 5 years already?
Yeah, so for me, it's very important working from home to have some things to do outside of work, like in general.
Mm-hmm.
So during the time I was working, I was also majority of the time studying. This was one of the things that took me outside of work and like meet other people as well. But I also try to always have plans for doing some sports or meeting friends,
Mm-hmm.
things that are important to me, but I have I need to have it like planned beforehand. Because if I don't have anything, then it might be quite easy to just be stuck inside the loop of being home all the time.
Of course.
And that's
Yeah.
like my trick.
That's true. And do you have any other productivity tips or like how do you stay organized, like working from home?
So for me, I am most productive in the morning. So I try to basically start as soon as I can, but not too early because I also not a super early riser. But that's basically the time when I like to work and when my brain is working the most. So I know that if I want to finish something, I really have to do it in those hours because if I had to do something in the evenings,
Mm-hmm.
well, it doesn't work for me. So I think it's good to know how you like to work specifically and then try to adhere to that.
Yeah. And maybe a little fun question. Do you have any like favorite meeting snack or what do you, when you start a meeting, what do you have at hand? Like any drinks, snacks, anything?
So I always need to have a water.
Mm-hmm.
And then I always have a routine in the mornings that I do one coffee.
Mm-hmm.
So it's usually between 9 or 10.
Mm-hmm.
So in the mornings, if I have a meeting, then this will also be my drink of choice. But if it was about a snack, then I would probably pick raisins in chocolate.
Oh,
That's
that's a good
my
combination.
favorite.
That does sound pretty good. And maybe to wrap it up, like, what would you say, what makes BP experts like special to work at, the work culture, anything that comes to your mind?
I think all the people in BP experts are super open and very kind. And always when you have issues or questions or you need help with anything, they are always down to help you. And but they also communicate when they are not able to. So I think the environment is very open, and I like that a lot.
Yeah. No, that's great. Thank you, Christina, so much for this interview and hopefully to another 5 years at BP
Thank you as well.